We survived relegation last season, and in today's episode of the Unemployed Journeyman with FC Tokyo in the J1 League, it's time for a transfer special. And given the fact that I've actually got millions to spend, I think this is going to be a fun one. Welcome to the video, and as I said in the intro, this should be quite a fun transfer special. As you can see from what we've got here, £42 million effectively as our overall balance. But more importantly, we've got £28.6 million transfer budget with £281,000 wage budget. If you go by a committed spending, we've got about 62,000 to spend, but we will be having players going out as well as players coming in. If we have a look at the actual tactics screen and at the team we've got here, there's pretty much everywhere is available for me to upgrade on. You know, I have said previously that some of the foreign players that we've got, I'm looking at them leaving, or some of them leaving at least, and bringing in better foreign players. I do want to have a look at our youth system and see what we can bring through in the youth system. But if we actually go to our pick best 11 without restrictions, and this is basically what the assistant manager tells me is our best 11. Now, Filip Krastev, absolutely want to keep him. We need a striker because Kinoshita has not been particularly good. Neither has Akimoto. We just haven't really been able to find that person that can do the job for us up front. Now, Ryotaro Araki, I really do want to give this guy a chance because he's the type of player that he looks really decent. I just wasn't able to register him when I was here for the back end of last season, or this season, whatever you want to still call it. But he's got 2.5-star current ability with 4-star potential. And I mean, he wants to be a Raumdeuter, which is not a position I play. I do inside forwards out there. So he can do an inside forward. He's just as good as an inside forward as anything else. But he does have room for improvement. He can improve by another 1.5 stars. We want to just see what we can get from this guy, really. He does leave at the end of next season, so hopefully this coming season will be make or break for him, really. Filip Krastev, like I say, I want to keep him. Jaja Silva, I know, I mean, he's our best player on paper. 4 stars. I've not been massively impressed with him last season, even though when you look at his league form, from 36 appearances, he got 13 goals and 2 assists at 6.89 in a team that wasn't playing well for most of the season. It's probably actually pretty decent. I'm probably being a bit harsh on him. So these attacking three here, I think we've kind of got a base of what we want. Shirai is going to be leaving. He's considering his options and he wants to leave, and he's just not happy here for some reason. Technically, he is still here until the end of next season. But if anyone, he is wanted by several clubs. So if anyone comes in for an offer of 1.4 million for him, I will take it. It's been a shame because he's been a really decent player for us since we've been here, and that's all I can judge him on, really, not what it was before. Yamazaki, we're keen to keep him around. We do want to improve on the central defence with Yamazaki because Trevisan is not really to the standard, in my opinion. For Bassam, I quite like him. He's 23-year-old Cameroonian, got 3.5-star potential, and he's 6'3", and you don't find height like that in the J League very easily. So I do like him. Yasunori Yamamura, I also love this boy. 19 years old. He's been playing as a winger for us. I did play him up front in the last couple of games, and he actually looks pretty decent. But his finishing, first touch, is not really great for that kind of position. His bravery as well. His teamwork isn't great. You know, I think we can do better, and I would like him to be more for the right side and maybe even get him on the left side as well. But either way, at 4.5-star potential, we are absolutely keeping him around. Same with Kaitoro Lizuka, 18 years old, 5-star potential midfielder. Already got a valuation of up towards 3.8 million. He's come through our academy, and I just want him to be playing in our midfield somewhere. And I just, I like him. I really do like him. I think he could be great for us. There's other areas as well that we, left back maybe we could improve. But it's really going to be a case of as per the finances, £28 million in the bank. If we have a look at our squad at who's going to be leaving at the end of this season, we've, don't know why this has moved over for some reason, but let's have a look at who we've got. So there's only a few that are definitely going to be leaving because they're out of contract. So Trevor Sand will be one of them. Simon will be the other. Shintaro Nago, who doesn't really look like he's going to make it, he's 30 years old as well, we'll move him on. And Rion Yamahara, who we've played as a left back a few times. He's been okay, to be fair, and he can play right back, but I just think we can get better. And I do kind of have a plan for our backup, right back, left back, central defence kind of area, but that will become clear later in the video. And I know for a fact that one of you in the comments is going to love it if we actually do manage to do what we want to do. But I'm going to play through until we get players leave and whatever else, and come back with you with a more precise transfer strategy. And we've also got the end of season review that will come up next. We've just had our budget set before we get to the end of season review, and our transfer budget has been increased by an extra 5 million. So we've now got 33.8 million in the transfer budget, and our wage budget has gone up significantly. We've gone from having about 60,000 available in the wage budget to now having about 130,000. So I am very happy at the budgets that have been set by the board. Thank you very much. We did also have a comment in the video where I had a decision to make about moving or not, where someone said that we've got a tycoon takeover, or we had a tycoon takeover at the start of FM24, I think it was. And if that's the case, I'm going to look forward to having plenty of money to spend. Right, here we are for the end of season review. And a lot of this isn't going to apply to us because we wasn't here for it, basically. But we've got some new signings here. I mean, they spent money last season. I wouldn't say they really spent a great deal of money. They spent 1.9 million on our goalkeeper, Tomoki Hayakawa, who got a 6.93 for the season, which I suppose isn't too bad for a goalkeeper. They spent 1.2 million on Shun Morikawa, who's a 19-year-old winger. Oh, that's what actually the money I spent, that is. Whether he's going to really make it or not might have been a waste of 1.2 million. And Shinosuke Kinoshita for 2.8 million. Striker that made 30 appearances and scored 3 goals. I mean, he was a flop even when we took over. He's meant to be pretty decent, but we've not been able to get him to score goals, and that has been a real concern. There's some other signings here as well. I wouldn't say any of them have really been massively successful. Yota Sato, who's obviously our fullback, not our fullback, our centre-back. And yeah, just looking around, there's not really anything to write home about on there. In terms of players out, they sold a player for 2.9 million. The rest, hundreds of thousands. Nothing earth-shattering or anything in there. In terms of how it unfolded, we finished 15th. We were 7 points clear of Osaka in the final relegation place. As you can see, this was their start to the season. They actually got off to a pretty decent start, actually. But then after their first 2 games, it was just downhill. They had a win there, then lost and drew some more, had a win there. And then after that, it was just terrible. It was just defeat after defeat after defeat. Barely or hardly ever scoring a goal. Then we took over, must have been around here. Or was it Sapporo, I think was the first game we took over. We lost against them. At least we did get a goal. Then we beat Fukuoka, which was quite a standout performance for us. Then another win, a draw, a win, a win. Then we had a defeat and a draw. Then a couple more wins, a defeat, a win, a draw. We picked up points, and we picked up enough points. That was the important thing. 64% of our stadium was full. Jaja Silva with 13 goals was our top goal scorer and a B- from the board. In terms of the biggest win, 6-2 win against Kyoto. Then in the J1 League was the match to remember against Fukuoka. That's the one where we actually won that game 2-0, and that's their match to remember for the season. And goal of the season was Yamamoto in a 2-1 win against Ryukyu. In terms of the finances, according to this, I've got no shirt sales, which is a bit of a worry, but 2.2 million made in merchandise sales. Sponsorship ever so slightly up, but broadcast revenue was down. All of it was down. Corporate and hospitality, competition prize money, and match day and commercial and retail. We're a 2.5-star reputation national team. In terms of what, I mean, I don't think I need to say anymore. That is not the formation we're going to be playing, or we have been playing. That is quite disgusting, actually. Krasdev probably has been our standout player. Shirai is definitely leaving. We'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, he was there. I mean, we would have had him as right back. But yeah, that's a disgusting formation. We're just going to move on. In terms of the awards, Philip Krasdev, the fans' player of the season. Yasunori Yamamura, the young player of the season. Kenta Kikuchi, the signing of the season. That's our centre back. It's not. Oh no, it's a left back. It's not a player we've signed, but it's a player the club signed. The previous manager, Yuki Yamamoto, with goal of the season. Jaja Silva, the top goal scorer, with 13 goals. Philip Krasdev, most assists with 11 goals. Kazuki Shirai, most player of the match awards with 4. Philip Krasdev with the highest average rating and most passes completed per 90 minutes. Yota Sato. In terms of the record breakers, Jaja Silva's 13 goals is a record. Most league goals by a player in a season, so that's overall, this is league, 13 as well. Most goals by a player in a league match was also Jaja Silva with 2. And Philip Krasdev with the most assists is also a new record. In terms of history in the making, FC Tokyo got off to a terrible start, dropping from 2nd to 15th, and somewhat surprisingly found themselves embroiled in a relegation scrap under new manager Damien Hill as well. We took them out of it. They were in that scrap, then we arrived, and they, yeah, just get your facts right. The Japanese Football Messenger, which I'm pretty sure isn't an actual publication. We are releasing some people, so we'll just put in some job adverts for these staff. I'm not worried about the under 18s and all that. It's down to my assistant or my director of football to sort that out. But what I'll do is we'll just quickly get this. Who's this now? Right. So C+, we're stable with the board. I mean, we've only just arrived really. C+ with the supporters as well. Squad dynamics, good dressing room atmosphere, average managerial support. Our overall best 11, yep, don't really mean a great deal to us at the moment. And we've got our searches have started for new players. Transfers we've got already confirmed. So Kai Morimoto is going to be coming in. 19-year-old, can play right back or centre back. He'll probably, if I'm being honest, be playing at centre back when he plays. He's not guaranteed to be a starter for us or anything like that. He won't be a starter for us. He's one of those that's got about 2-star of current ability with 4 to 5-star potential. And Hideyashi Kobayashi is kind of my attempt to fix the striking problem. We might have to play with a deep line forward. He can do an advanced forward on 3-star. He looks very decent actually, and 1.9 million was matching his release clause. He's, I think, yeah, he's 3 stars as an advanced forward. He's got potential to be 4 to 4.5 star. And Kazuki Shirai is leaving. It hasn't been absolutely confirmed yet, but it's going to be, I think, 1.3 million. So he will basically pay for Morimoto effectively. And in terms of the finances, that means we, as I say, are £33.5 million in the transfer budget, still over £100,000 in the wage budget. We've not got long to go until pre-season starts, and we have a recruitment review meeting. I think it's on the 18th is when the transfer window opens. Yeah, on the 18th, and that's when these players will be joining and leaving and whatever. So I will dip in and out with you when I have more news, and hopefully we can get some very nice new signings coming in. Okay, so I've just had a news alert come through about the new J1 League season drawing near. And my mind got drawn down here to the promoted from J2 League. And look at who we have. So Fukushima have actually been promoted from the J2 League, which is fantastic. I'm actually really... Let's have a look at the J2 League where they finished. Oh, hang on. They've been in the playoff, I'm assuming. So, yeah, they finished 3rd in the league. They were level on points with Tosu, but it was goal difference that stopped them. 1 point behind Shimizu at the top. I mean, they were so close to winning the league. With Yamagata, Nagasaki, Chiba and Tokushima finishing in the other 4 places. Toshigi, Kumamoto and Akita getting relegated. Iwaki, who were Fukushima's nearest and dearest, of course, finishing quite some way down. But if we go to the playoffs, so in the semi-final, it was a one-off game against Chiba, which they won 2-0. Can we have a look at that game to see who scored the goals? So Wazaki, whoever he is, and Naganuma, I mean, they've made some changes. We'll say that much. I mean, oh, that's Chiba. I was going to say, I'm thinking, hang on. Right, so Matsumoto, he's still there. Pedro, Umeda, Wazaki, Tamura, Tabatan. I mean, this is a very, very changed team. How long have we been gone? This is a massively changed team. I mean, you got Mori, Kobayashi, Mori, Morishita, Matsumoto on the bench. But yeah, that is a massively changed team from what we're used to. And then in the final, of course, they then played Nagasaki. 1-1. What was that H symbol? So it was 1-1. Did they win on penalties? Let's have a look at the Fukushima. So they've gone 4-4-2 on here as well. Amori was in the side for this one, as was Matsumoto. Oh, this is a very Sandoval, Fujita. This is a very changed. Yeah, that has surprised me. So, what's this H? One as high as C. Oh, okay. So, in the J League, or at least in the J2 League, you have the semi-final playoff, which is a one-off game, and presumably the fact that Fukushima are at home, it means the highest seeded team is at home. And then, obviously, if it's level, presumably after 90 minutes, you don't get extra time or penalties. It's just the highest seeded team goes through. And do you know what? I think I actually quite like that. Because, I mean, you take the Championship, League 1, League 2, that sort of thing in England. You can finish third in the Championship, go into the playoff final against the team that finished sixth, and the team that finished sixth wins on penalties. I actually think that's a better way of doing it, to be fair. Well done, J-League. I approve of that. So Fukushima are promoted to the J1 League. Do you know what? I kind of feel a little bit vindicated now because we put in most of the groundwork to get them top of the table. Let's have a look at their schedule. So we left, it was around here we left. I think we had the 4-1 win against Ryuka, and I think we left here. So they won, they drew, they drew, they won, they drew, lost, won, lost. So they had a bit of a iffy spell around like in August. But then they finished strongly with 6 games unbeaten, 3 wins, 3 draws. If they just turned one of those draws, or even that against Kanazawa, that 1-0 defeat, they turned that into a draw, they would have got through automatically. It don't matter, they've got through anyway. Sandoval, a guy that we signed, scoring the goal that gets them into the J1 League as well. I am very, very happy with that. So well done, Fukushima. For those of you that, and I know there are some, that wanted me to stay at Fukushima, we've kind of got the best of both worlds. And look at that, Hiroto Yuki. I'm not even on the favoured personnel anymore. I mean, they have absolutely disowned me, haven't they, for leaving them? They have got the right. I thought, because I was on the favoured personnel, I thought I'd have stayed there. The fact that I got them up into the J2 League, top of the J2 League. But no, but at least Hiroto Yuki, who's another one of our star players of this save, one of our legends of the save, he's on the icons list. Right, okay, so just wanted to bring your attention to that really. There's no other reason for coming back other than that. Just that Shimizu, Tosu and Fukushima are going to be in the J1 League this season. We'll carry on going through. I'll bring you some transfer news shortly. And hopefully we'll have had some players in, out, all that sort of stuff. But we'll also go through the fixture list, season expectations and all that sort of stuff. The fixture lists have been announced for the new season, and we go back to Fukushima in tomorrow's episode. It will be the second game of the episode. We start off against Yokohama FM, then we play Fukushima at Fukushima, so we are literally going back home. Then we've got Kawasaki, Iwata and Shonan. If we come over to the season expectations, have a look at the J-League. We haven't done any, or not many transfers in at the moment. It's a season preview. We are expected to finish 13th. Fukushima, as you can imagine, 2,000 to 1. Expected to finish rock bottom of the league. They are expected to be the absolute whipping boys. And yeah, with 20 teams in the league, they're saying 13th. The board want us to finish mid-table. So we need to be around the 10th position mark for that. And by the time we've done some transfers, we hope to move up a little bit further. Yokohama, who we play in the first game of tomorrow's episode, they're expected to finish above us in 8th. Who else did we have as part of that? Let's just go back here. So also Kawasaki F, Iwata and Shonan. Kawasaki F, Iwata and Shonan. I need to try and remember that. Right, season preview. Shonan will be up here. Yokohama F we've already seen. Kawasaki F up around mid-table as well. So not a bad start. Iwata down here. Not a bad start to the season, really. Obviously, we would hope to be beating Fukushima. And yeah, the transfer window opens in a couple of days' time. There are players in and out, as you can see. And I'll show you those in more detail once we get to that part of the season. Okay, first bits of the transfer window have been completed. You already know about the signings anyway. Hideshu Kobayashi, he comes in as a striker, 3.5-star current ability with 5-star potential. I'm hoping he really does do the business for us. He will be an advanced forward, so he'll be down to 3 stars. And then Kai Muramoto, who we're going to be playing as a right back. We're training him for his crossing and all that sort of stuff. 3-star current ability with 5-star potential. I have big hopes for him as well. Can also play centre back. If we go to the transfer screen and have a look at players out as well, Kazuki Shirai has gone out for 1.3 million to Shonan, and JJ Silva has got the ump about that. I've told him that I'll give youngsters a try. He doesn't believe anyone's ready and he's not happy with me. Taichi Kikuchi has gone to Shonan as well for £225,000. It says their only signing was a last resort. He's a D. So he plays in the area of the midfield. We don't really have anyone. We've got options here as well. I just felt we didn't need him. We needed room in the squad. And Riku Nazawa has gone to Kashiwa, central defender. He's pretty reasonable. He is 6'1" as well. He is pretty reasonable. But again, I just felt we could do better, basically. So we've let him go for 275,000. 1.8 million in, 3.7 million has been spent at the moment. And there's going to be more to bring in. As you can see from this, if we have a look at our current squad, we have a squad of 20 players. We do have to have 4 players that are homegrown at club as well. So what we have done is we've raised Sota Sato, promising right winger, 17 years old, 3-star current, 5-star potential. He'll be playing as an inside forward. Have we got him training on that? No, we haven't. So let's train that now. Inside forward, he does it on support on that side. Take control of his individual training. And yeah, that's him being trained up for that. So he will be used during the course of the season. And then we've got Lizuka, who's in our central midfield with 5-star potential. Yamamura, who can play out on the right or up front, 4.5-star potential. And Nazawa, who's our current goalkeeper, is also trained at the club, 4 stars, 4.5 stars. So everything's looking rather rosy at the moment. If you have a look at the positions, I do want to bring in probably one more centre-back. We've got Yamazaki, Sato, Fabasum. Muramoto can play there, but we don't want to use him there. Nakano is another one that we can play there, but we'd rather he played out here, and we have got him being trained out here. But there is the option to play him there if we want to. But I would like one more. Lizuka is a central midfielder for us, not a centre-back. Akamoto plays up top, plays on the left. He can play pretty much anywhere. He's just a very useful squad player, really. Rion Yamahara is one of the left-back options. He's more of a bench warmer than anything else. Kikuchi is our actual left-back, 3 stars. If we can get a left-back better than him, I'll be happy to bring him in. But it would mean letting him go. There are clubs interested in him. Actually, if we have a look at Kikuchi, he's wanted by Fukuoka, Tosu and Mashida. So if someone wants to come in for an offer of him of around 1.5 million, I absolutely wouldn't say no. Krasnev isn't going anywhere. He's our player, unless someone comes in with a ridiculous offer that we can't say no to. Yamamoto is obviously a central midfielder as well. I have got intentions of improving our central midfield. We're good at the moment, or decent to good maybe, with 3 stars. But if we can get anyone better, then I will absolutely be looking at that. Iraqi is obviously out on. We've got a lot of right-sided midfielders, right backs that can play centre backs, all that sort of stuff. If we have a look at our new signings, let's bring these new signings into the actual matchday squad. And if we look at Kobayashi, who would play up here, same rating as Kinoshita, but I just believe he's better. Sota Sato, like I say, can play out on the right. Iraqi will be starting out there for us. Morimoto can play on the right or in the centre. If we play him out there, he's basically the same, so we probably will start with him there. So an all-new right-hand side at the moment. And yeah, I'm going to be delving into the transfer market. Now, I wanted to get some players out first. So now that we've got players out, we've got around a month until the start of the new season. If we actually come up here and have a look, we need to get some friendlies arranged as well. 14th of February, so just under a month until the start of the new season. I better get my backside into gear. I've signed Genki Agawa. That was what I was referring to earlier on. Yeah, basically, I mean, for those of you that don't know Agawa, he can play anywhere across the back, including centre back, left back, right back, just anywhere basically. We had him at Fukushima and he was amazing for us. He really was. I did get him scouted and it come up that he's not really of the required ability, as you can see there. But I just kind of look at it and I thought, do you know what? He's cost us, I think it's 30-odd thousand, £36,000. I'm going to bring him in just to bring him with us, basically. He's capable of actually doing stuff as well, especially on the right-hand side. We played him as a right back. So he's basically just here as a little bit of enjoyment for me. I've already upset all the squad because they're all unhappy with me. It started off with Jaja Silva being unhappy that I sold Shirai, which I had no choice. He wanted to leave. So, but that option's not there when you talk to the player to say, I had no choice, he wanted to leave. Do you want me to just keep him hostage? So I weren't prepared to promise him stuff and whatever else. He got the ump. He then come back to me with a whole dressing room full of people that have also got the ump, and nobody's happy for me to go with youth. So I thought I'd go with Genki instead. So I'm taking a stand. I will not be bullied. I will not be intimidated by this squad. And hopefully it doesn't mean that we just completely and utterly have a disastrous start to the season, because when we look at dynamics, I mean, these have now gone into the green. They were in the red. This is still in the red, but at least it's going in the right direction. Right, let's see if we can bring anyone else in before the first 2 games of the season in a few weeks' time. Okay, do you know what? If you're a footballer and you sign a contract, can you learn that you might actually have to live up that contract? Because these people are annoying me. They really are. So many people, everyone hates me. It's in the red, average. Team cohesion's average. Club atmosphere is average and going down. We've got Jaja Silva's unhappy because Kasuka Shirai left the club, even though he wanted to. Ryatora Araki, who, by the way, in pre-season has been lighting it up. 5 appearances, 6 goals, 2 assists at an 8.36. Can play anywhere along there. I really want him to be a massive part of our team. But he wants to leave. I've offered him out now because I said no. Then everyone got unhappy about him. 7 people are supporting him. 4 people disagree with him. So I think it's just best we get rid of him and try and restore some of this dynamics. Kenta Kikuchi is disappointed not to be joining Fukuoka. Hayakawa is disappointed not to be joining Kyoto. And Sota Sato is disappointed not to be joining Sapporo. And the annoying thing about that is Sota Sato is the man I want to replace Araki, because he's a very good player. He's 18 years old, 3-star current, 5-star potential. He can absolutely be a top-class player for us. And yeah, just everybody is moaning. Everybody. And I just want to say to them, I'm sorry, but I need to have a squad of players to compete in this league. I can't just sell everybody because you've got the ump. It's really annoying at the moment. And I really do believe that dynamics have been a lot worse on FM24 than they ever have been. You know, if you don't keep people happy, then you're going to be in big trouble. And that's a concern for me because it's the 14th of February, 3 o'clock. The next time I click continue, we're going to be going into the game against Yokohama and then Fukushima. Both of those will be tomorrow's episode, of course. Let's have a look at the transfer business and see what transfers we've done. Whole load of outs, we'll get to those in a moment as well. Most of them are on loan. The incomings you know about Kobayashi, who for about the last month has been away on international duty, don't come back for about another 2 weeks. Kai Morimoto is away, not away, he's very much here. He's actually been doing very well. He's played 5 pre-season games, 1 goal, 4 assists at an 8.14, exactly what I want from our attacking right back. Then we brought in Takafumi Shimahara, 2.5 star current ability, centre back defensive midfielder, 4.5 star, 3.5 star maybe potential, value within the range of about 3.2 million. Only 18 years of age, he can be a really good player for us. Like I said, brought him in from Osaka, a lot of potential, which our team is very much a mixture of potential and current. Genki Agawa, you obviously know about. By the way, he has played 2 pre-season games for me. He got an assist at 7.15 as a left back. So I class that as me being right to sign him. It was only £37,000, so it don't really matter. Riccardo Capellini from Kashima has come in for 1.1 million. He is a a centre back at 6'1", can head a bit, can jump a bit. 3-star current with 3.5 star potential. He will be going straight into our team most likely. And then Rui Perez for £950,000 in midfield, 3.5 star, looks decent all round really. Aerially probably gets let down a little bit, but he can be a deep line playmaker, 3.5 stars for that. Got the attributes for it as well. 6 foot, we're trying to build a bit of a big team. If we look at our tactic, the team we've kind of got at the moment is here. And where you might think there's some weaknesses like right back, Kai Morimoto, he's got the potential. He's already performing well in pre-season. I have no problem with him at all. I think he can do really well. We do also have plenty of options to bring on in place of him, including Nagawa. Then another one might be Kaitoro Lizuka as a ball-winning midfielder. But again, he's got the potential. I think he will live up to that potential. He's got all the attributes to go with it as well. Mizaki Watai, I want to get him into the team because he's effectively probably going to be part of Araki's replacement. He can play anywhere across there to a really good standard as well. I did bring him in to play in place of Filip Krastev in one of the pre-season friendlies. I think he got a bit of a nosebleed because he then got injured and he's just come back from it. So, yeah, this is basically our squad now. I think we're looking pretty decent and pretty strong. And I do want to... Where's my boy Yamamoto or is it Kobayashi? I don't know. I can't remember who he is now. Oh, here he is. He's on the bench. Just want to make sure he's on the bench. I'm getting myself set up, ready for tomorrow's episode. So, yeah, that's the business we've done in terms of the incomings. In terms of the outgoings, we want to go to transfers, transfer history. Shirajino went for 1.3 million. Kikuchi went for 225,000. Nozawa went for 275,000. Kasumasa Abe has gone to Yokohama for 325,000. He's not really going to make it for us. And then the rest have just been all loans. And I'm really pleased with quite a few of these loans. For example, we've got this guy here who's a defensive midfielder, can be a ball-winning midfielder. He's got a lot of potential. I just think he's at the age of 17, if we're not going to use him, we might as well loan him out. He's actually gone out on loan to Fukushima, in case you didn't notice that. Then players like Yano, who's got 4-star potential, runs out of contract at the end of the summer. I thought, let's get him out on loan. If he proves he's got something about him, we can bring him back and offer him a new contract. Tabata is another one with high potential. He's got a few years left on his contract, but again, let's get him out. Let's see what he can do at other clubs. And that's really been the point of the loans this season. The transfer window is obviously still open. When does it actually shut? I mean, it's doing my head in this transfer window. The amount of offers we're getting for players that we want to keep at the club. I mean, does it ever shut? The transfer window closes on the 25th of February. So that's what, 11 days? That's not even February, that's March. What month are we in on here? Yeah, 25th of March. So we've still got over a month of the transfer window being open, and it's going to do my head in because we've got so many top quality youngsters in our dev centre that we are just getting bid after bid after bid for, and they're not loan bids either, they're sale bids, and they're for things like £150,000 and things like that. So obviously I'm saying no, but I might not be able to say no forever. Like I say, Iraqi, we have agreed to let him go. We have offered him out. So he's probably not going to feature in my first game of the new season. If we have a look at the season preview, we were, I think, 13th before. We're 12th, so we've improved by 1 place, according to this. Krasnev, by the way, is in the media Dream 11. I thought that was worth pointing out. So, yeah, that's the end of the transfer special, folks. Join me tomorrow for the first 2 games of the new season, including going back home to Fukushima. Thank you very much for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.